Hey guys, was doing a little crappie fishing, and a couple things. One, I'm gonna kind of go over what I use because that comes up in every video. You know, what are you using? What are you rigging with? Things like that. You know, the second thing, what actually inspired me to go crappie fishing is I was fishing around this dock the other day, and you know, this fellow was working on his dock. I don't know what he was doing, but you know, he was small talk, asking me how the fish was going, biting, all that stuff, and he said, you know, I'm ready for the crappie to start biting again. And you know, I said, well, I mean, I was just talking. I was like, what do you mean? You know, he said, well, we haven't caught any this past summer. It's been too hot. You know, the water's too hot, and they've disappeared. And so that made me go out just to see, you know, if I could catch some. Which in the previous videos you've seen, I have caught them in the summer, and so don't have that in your mind that, you know, crappie turn off at a certain time of year, because they don't. You know, they feed year-round, and so you can always catch them. You know, granted, certain times of year are going to be better than others. You know, spring when they're pre-spawn, when they're feeding up to spawn, that's a great time to catch them. Number two is, you know, fall, when they're feeding up for the winter. That's another great time to catch them. But basically went out. It wasn't a great bite. I was kind of worried actually doing it because it was a post-frontal system, and the temperature this summer has been really hot, and so it was cool, you know, cooled off just a little bit, and it got that temperature down a little bit. And if you know anything about crappie are super finicky. They probably one of the species of fish that's probably the most finicky. They don't like any type of changes. You know, water depth change, weather change, you know, water clarity. You know, something changes in their habitat that they're not accustomed to, they kind of shut down. And you can still catch them, you just got to work a little bit harder. So that's what we were kind of facing. We didn't just tear them up by any means. By my other videos, you can see we usually do pretty good, but it was a little bit of a slower bite, but we did catch some. We caught crappie, got it in the boat, and was able to, you know, have a mess of fish. But basically, kind of going over what I use, you know, of course, I was using a pink jig head in a 1/16 ounce. It's Lucky Strike. Basically, this is him right here. And so you got the pink jig head. Now, moving on from there, I was using black and chartreuse jigs. And what are these? Sexy Tail Shad. And that's the color I was using. Sometimes I even use this, I've got different varieties in there, but pink tuxedo, that works really well too. But on this particular day, we were using black and chartreuse, and that is it right there. Hopefully you can see it. But if you don't know why I use these, and this is in the 2-inch, it's that tail. I don't know why, but crappie love it. That little action in the water, I mean, they just eat it up. But so I had that on my 1/16 ounce jig. Now, when I set it up, I always use these guys, these Berkeley Power Bait. And I normally use pink. I probably tend to lean more towards pink than any other color. Now, if I have really stain conditions, you know, things like that, I'll use chartreuse. But normally it's pink. And for some reason, they really like that pink color, and that's why I use the pink jig head. But basically, it's just these little bitty balls that you tip your hook with. And that's all it is. It just gives you a little bit extra, you know, especially when it was a hard day fishing too. You know, it allows them to hold on to it a little bit longer. And there's where those come in handy, because you're definitely going to catch more than without. I always talk about allowing the jig to float freely in the water, more horizontal presentation than a vertical. You want a natural presentation in the water, and that's where that little clasp comes in handy, and it's a size 0. And that's what you want to have tied to your line, and then you put your hook on that, your jig head, and that'll allow it to float perfect in the water. And that's what they want, because they want it to look natural, more of a natural presentation. You know, of course, I was using a thill bobber. I really like these. Basically, you need a premium balsa wood cork. It doesn't have to be thill. You know, just you need some type of really buoyant, very lightweight hook. I mean, a cork to let it, you know, sink in the water fast. And that's where this balsa wood comes in handy. So I was using a thill cork, and of course I was using my bobber stops. Hope you can see that there. But basically, you hook them onto your line, and then the theory is this has a hole in it, and that's where you thread your line through, so it slides up and down freely, and then it'll slide up to that bobber stop, and then whatever depth you have it set. And so, but basically that's it, guys. That's what I was using. Enjoy the video. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, let me know. Share it, all that good stuff. But until next time, we'll see you guys. Get him! You want to keep him?
Yeah. What?
Give me a banana.
Oh, okay. I'm probably gonna get me an apple.
You want to get an apple?
Yeah. Is it washed?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll just leave it here.
Keep him or no?
I really don't know. He seems very small. You got someone. Whoa. Ah! Spider got him.
Hang on, let me get the boat situated and I'll get you back.